Well, welcome back. This is Coach Lombardi and dude, what was the name of our show again?
Mid 10 Friday night, something.
The
Mid
Reporter
10
Show. All right, let me
quarter
try this
show. Yeah,
again.
quarter show.
You had to look at your notes, didn't
Yeah,
you?
dude,
Yeah. It's
I
been so
am
long.
rusty.
It's been so long. I ain't seen you so long. I
I,
don't know what you look like.
I know, I know.
What
Well,
you look
welcome to
like.
the
God,
Mid
man.
10 Friday Night Football, the Reporter Show. We got the boys back in the saddle again. We've taken a hiatus for a few weeks. We got Jeff the Real Deal Neal from the Murfreesboro Post. And we got my name is not Jeff Reedy, it's Keith Ready on the radio from the Cannon Courier. Welcome, boys. It's been a while. So, what have we been doing for the past few weeks? Jeff, go ahead and start us off. What do you?
Well, we've been. I've been. I was at three football games. I was at. Uh, let's see. Riverdale, Stewart's Creek, Eagleville, Moore County, and Oakland, Blackman. Of course, that was a game for 7-0 at half. Oakland busted it open. But this last week, I've been doing golf and volleyball. The golf tournament's over. Sevierville. Uh,
Yeah.
we had Blackman had a kid, Braxton Head, shot even par, 36 holes, 144, shot two under the first day, two over the second day. First day, he had four birdies and an eagle. Number 15, par 4, 317, eagled it. Shot his fourth under par round of the year. Shot, let's see, 269s, a 70, and a 71. Shot at Cedar Crest and shot under par twice at Old Fort and up at Sevierville, too. So he raised an individual. Central Magnet girls lost again in a playoff. I feel for them. They lost to Page last year in Double A in a one-hole playoff. This year it was them in Greenville. They shot 20 over 300, both of them. They had a one-hole playoff. Greenville beat them in a one-hole playoff. They finished runner-up for the second straight year in a row. Anna and Lauren Powell are junior. They got one more chance next
Yeah.
year. Emery Mitchell, too, and Schmackel. She's a senior, should be graduating, but got a strong team, and they'll be back again next year. And volleyball, it's getting down to nitty gritty.
Yeah.
MTCS won another region title this week, beat BGA. They're 29-3. Got six seniors. They're going to play next Saturday, the 18th. If they win that, they'll be in the state final four for the fourth time in a row.
Yeah. Yeah.
PCA finished third. They'll play Tuesday on the road. They got to win. And then the public schools, they start regions this week. Central Magnet goes to Baxter. Siegel and Blackman go to Cookville. And then Eagleville goes to Sale Creek and Chattanooga. They're kryptonite. They'll play a Bledsoe County in the first round. Sale Creek plays Culleoka.
Did you say it was their kryptonite?
Yeah, they've lost to them 5 years in a row in the region finals.
Hmm.
They'll probably play a sixth year because Eagle plays Bledsoe County, Sale Creek plays Culleoka in the semifinals Tuesday. They'll play Tuesday. After that, they'll play the two winners will play at I think it's 7 o'clock, whatever at Sale Creek to divide the title. Sale Creek was 2 years ago was state champion single A. Last year they played at Eagleville. Eagle hosted the region. Eagle had them 2-0. All they had to do is win one more set. Sale Creek, as the state champion does, reverse swept them 1-5.
Oh.
And Eagle had to go to East Roxton, Cross Plains
Oh.
again and lose in sectional.
All
So
right.
they'll probably go there again. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see after Tuesday night and see what happens.
All right. Well, Jeff, let's transition because I got to be honest with you. Those I get the volleyball and the golf, and I got really the only time I've ever shot in the low in the golf is on that green putting stuff, right?
I know I play putt. That's mine. The putt.
No, but that's
Putt putt's
impressive,
my
and
speed.
I got to imagine when they're doing that one hole play. I've never heard that they did that. That's
Yeah, they do
got to
team
be pretty
playoff. They do
intense.
team playoff. Yeah,
Yeah,
team
that's
playoff.
got to be pretty cool.
It's
All
pretty
right,
good.
ready on the
Pretty good.
radio. You've got some really
Well,
good news to bring us up to about. You guys got something going on down there the past couple weeks.
yeah, we got two big wins to pretty much solidify Cannon County in second place to finish the region out with, which means a home playoff game. And
Nice.
then, as everybody knows, the quadrants are coming for the second round, and you never know what you're going to get in the second round as far as where you're going to be seated at or whatever the case might
What's
be.
the
But
quadrants? Is that like a new thing this year?
yeah, they voted back in January, and Jeff could probably explain it a little bit better than I can. But instead of what normally would happen is in the first few rounds, you would play Region 3 in the first round. and then you might play another Region 4 game in the second round, the same region that you're in, or you play an opponent from Region 3, depending on who all won,
Okay.
But this year, what they're doing is the first round, you'll be playing a Region 3 opponent. But
Okay.
the second round, you might end up playing a Region 1, Region 2, which means you're going for Cannon County. They'll be going to East Tennessee, out in Knoxville or some, area like that, big road trips. And, that you never know. So it gives you, they thought, I guess the TSSAA powers to be thought it'd be more exciting. I don't know, it keeps like Upperman, for instance. When Upperman was in their old region, it kept them from having to meet Alcoa in the second round.
Okay.
And Upperman would come in and they'd be undefeated, and all of a sudden they'd blitz through the first round of the playoffs, and then Alcoa would come and nail a 65-0 score on them. So it keeps that from happening,
Yeah.
to some of the bigger competitive schools.
Yeah.
Schools like Cannon County, it really doesn't matter. Lower, especially the lower seed schools, it really isn't going to matter. You're going to probably get beat up by somebody anyway. But the Lions actually, the last 2 weeks, they got a win against Smith County, and that's in the history of Cannon County and Smith County. Smith County's been the king of that, especially in region play. And this is the first time we played them in region play since I'd say about 6-7 years ago. And then last night, or this past Friday, we go down to Jackson County, and Jackson's their program has been on the mend. They've actually had a pretty good year this year. They had a really good year last year. And Cannon County ended up coming away with a 42-14 win down in Jackson. It was, and I think you saw it, maybe, I'm not for sure, but it was a game that showed that Cannon County is getting their rhythm. I mean, quarterback Eli Garrett threw for 397 yards on Friday, 5 touchdowns. I mean, he was whipping them out there. And this young man is the epitome, the stature of a quarterback. 6'5". He's about 200 pounds. He can stand in the pocket. He can, when the pocket collapses, he's a mobile quarterback. He's got all the tools to be a good one, but unfortunately, he's a senior.
I was just about to ask, what year is he?
So
yeah.
Now, your colleges that are looking at him, if he had one more year, especially with the way he's playing now, if he had one more year, you might see some Division I colleges looking at him.
Yeah.
Right now, he's got some small colleges, division, like the NAIA schools, Marible's, I'm sure, is looking at him, that type of thing. But, he's got all the tools. If somebody was to sit out there and, a professional quarterback coach or somebody was to take him under the person's wing or something and teach him, he's very coachable, and he's got a lot of talent, a lot of raw talent. What happens when he doesn't have the receivers that he's got this year? I mean, those receivers are something. You've got Jackson Miles, who caught a big bomb, 69-yard touchdown to Miles Alexander, who's still catching them. I think Miles had about 3 touchdowns this past Friday night. So, what happens when you don't have those receivers and you surround him with other receivers? It's going to take him a little while to progress and to learn,
Yeah.
But the Cannon County Lions, they're in a rhythm, and their defense has now been able to stop the run. Whereas when we lost to Gordonsville, we lost to Clay County, we couldn't stop the run, and they ran all over us. We were able to stop the run against Smith. We were able to stop the run against Jackson. Now, albeit, those are 2 programs that are not quite up to this year, up to the Gordonsville standard right now, but they're 2 good programs. And, anybody on any given night with the, Trousdale County's in our region, and Trousdale County just somehow fell flat again this year. They haven't won a game all year round, and they're going to be in last place, and we play them the final game of the season next week for Cannon County. Here you go. If you want to come out and watch us, Coach
You're
Lombardi.
ruining it for me, man. I was
Cannon County
to tell you, we're coming down.
Okay, you're going to see
down.
Jeff. Cannon County is playing Warren County High School.
Oh my! One of the worst 6A programs in the state.
Well, they ducked out of 6A this year and went independent.
Yeah.
and they
Oh,
are
okay. Why'd they do that? Wow, I didn't know that.
3-5, I want to say, this year so far.
Okay.
They
I didn't know
beat
that.
Franklin County and some teams, but the last and they would never play us in the history of the football program. Back in 2018, they decided to venture outside their comfort zone, and they were 6A at the time. They came down to Cannon County, and Cannon County beat them. First time in Cannon County's program history that a 3A school, we were 3A at that time, beat a 6A school in program history. The next year, CJ Taylor was all world MVP, and he rattled off. I mean, they killed us the next year, but we were happy about that.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that particular year was the year that we had a little snafu in our player uploads to TSSAA, and they didn't get a transfer kid in time, and we had to vacate all of our wins. We were 4-6 that year, and we had to vacate all the wins. TSSAA punished us. We ended up 0-10. And that was also the first time in 50 years that we beat DeKalb County at home in Cannon County.
You have no record for it.
But this transfer student that I'm talking about, he didn't have any impact on any of the games at all. Not until his senior year he did, but his junior year he didn't have any impact at all on his games. But unfortunately, we lost, and that was a turnaround. That was the beginning of the turnaround for the Cannon County football program. Matt Daniel was the coach. He had just come in; it was his first season. They lifted the spirits. They got a new attitude about him. He came in and cultivated that. And that kind of set the groundwork to where the program is, 8 years later. So
yeah, CJ Taylor, Mr. Football, he played two sports, football and basketball. Guy was all world, played at Vanderbilt. He played, he's a junior, senior now at Vanderbilt, but he was basketball. I saw him play basketball against Siegel in the sectional. Basketball, Siegel beat them, went to state tournament when Burwell was there. All right, when y'all beat them, Keith, that year y'all beat them, or it was the year after.
It was his junior year.
Well, what it was is I was supposed to go to another game that week. So my editor called me up and said, "You're going to go to such and such. It's playing Warren County, Rockville." I said, "What?" He said, "I think Rockville can beat them because Cannon County beat them a week earlier. I think Rockville can beat them." Well, of course, Warren County, right at the end of the ball game, beat them by 1 or 2 points, went for 2 points and beat them. But it's like 34-33 or some 36-30, some crazy business when Rick Rice was there. But he said, "You can go down to Warren County." And I knew where it was at, so it was school and stuff, but that old stadium, that bowl stadium, but I got a couple of my friends love that place. They love going down there and watch. It's in a bowl. It's really nice. Have you ever been down there? It's nice. Nunnally Stadium. Beautiful, nice, beautiful. They ain't been very good.
What school is it? What school is it?
Warren County, McMinnville. Warren County, McMinnville, Tennessee.
Is it? So it's what school is it? Is it
Warren County High School?
High school, yeah. Okay. Warren County High School, yeah.
They're known for their nurseries. You want to plant
if they have a better program, maybe we'll go catch a game there.
You want to plant a tree? Go to McMinnville, get you a tree. You want to plant a tree? Go get one. They got trees over there. You want to plant you a tree? But no, that CJ was a great athlete. They went to, I think, the second or third round of the playoffs.
Yeah,
it was the best season they ever had. When he was, they went here 10-0, 9-1 something. It was the best because I got a friend of mine from college. I met him in college. He went to high school there.
This young man that we're talking about, CJ Taylor, he graduated last year. He's not, CJ, by the way, Coach Lombardi, I liken him to Andre Adams Vaniok. This kid could do it all, and he did. He carried this team on. He was the only talent they had, and he carried this team on his back his senior year. And just they, like I said, Jeff said, they went deep in the playoffs that year. And then, of course, he had already been recruited by Vanderbilt, and he played it. He started all 4 years down at Vandy. Cornerback. Yeah,
quarterback. And then they put him in. He was an offensive guy. They put him on defense. Put him on defense. He didn't play offense. Put him on
played
defense.
Safety and cornerback down at Vanderbilt.
When did he graduate from Vanderbilt?
Last year.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's cool. That's the one thing that I notice is there's so much talent in this area, and I'll talk a little bit more about it, but that if these schools, even MTSU, man, if they can just figure out how to keep these kids here, especially at these smaller schools, like the quarterback you're talking about. I mean, get him in a program, and heck, now that they do the whole NIL thing, he can, or the transfer portal, get in there, work a year or two
Yep.
at school, and then transfer out.
Yep.
But keeping everything local, that'd be a great idea. So let me share with you my adventures, right? So 2 weeks ago, we went up to Macon County, right? Because I wanted to see the Macon County and Stone Memorial. Because you guys were telling me something about Stone Memorial. I was like, all right. And that division is a juggernaut. I mean, you got those two. You got White County. I can't hear you, brother.
White County, yeah.
Oh,
White County.
Yeah. Oh, Jeff, were you talking, or you're good to go? Or
I'm good. I'm good.
okay. I keep looking at Keith.
I've got supper going.
Yeah.
That's what's going on, and I'm pointing to people to, hey, unplug this and unplug that. We're good to go.
Hey, you're directing. There you go. So, anyways, went up there, and it was it's got to be my favorite environment, and that was the game of the year that we've seen. It was awesome. It was back and forth. First play of the game for Macon, the kid broke it for 80 yards and got tackled at the 2, right? And then it was just back and forth. The game didn't get separated by more than a touchdown. It was the coach for Stone Memorial was like uber aggressive, right? And they won. You guys saw that. And then, but I asked him after the game, I was like, was that part of the game plan? Because this had the feeling of everything about a playoff game. And since it is, because it's all about the staging, they were looking at a 4th and 12, right? In the middle of the field. And you would think that they would do like a quick kick or whatever. He just came out and he just launched it, right? Just threw it deep, and they wound up scoring on that drive. But the biggest part was that late in the 4th quarter, it was a touchdown game. And like I said, there was maybe 2 punts in the game. Macon had punted it, and Stone Memorial's down inside their own 5-yard line, right? The kid broke a sack, or they should have called it holding in the end zone, but they didn't, and so the guy was able to break out of it. But it was a 3rd and 25 at their own 5-yard line. It was like 4 minutes left to go in the game, right? This kid, he breaks he gets twisted around. He does almost like a Michael Vick impersonation without, killing the dogs or whatever. But he swung around and he broke for like 50 yards, get tackled right at midfield. Then the very next play, they threw a quick pass, kid breaks it, and they're done. And then Macon County throws interception on the following. It was one of those that, for everything that you love about high school football, from the atmosphere to the competitiveness, wasn't a boring game. It was just back and forth, back and forth. It was insane. I actually lost my voice. It was great. It was great. I loved it. So that was that one. And then my son went to Antioch this week and saw the Andre Adams. I was like, they are the real deal. I actually interviewed him the day before the game. I wanted to try to talk with him, talk with the family, and because there really is something special going on in Antioch, right? And it's easy to say it's the Andre Adams thing, because obviously being that incredibly talented, like you were saying about the CJ, that does something. But when it comes to only one player, I mean, basketball, one player can take over. You still need the ingredients to make something special, right? And there's something special going on in Antioch. I mean, they're 8-0, and I think that them beating, FRA surprised a lot of people. And I'm not going to lie, I was kind of surprised at how they really handled them. I mean, they were up by 25 points at one point. They were really handling them. So it was incredible. So what do you guys got coming up this week? What do you got coming up, Neil Deal?
I don't know yet. There's a lot of good games. I would say after the fall break. Smyrna, Stewart's Creek, Siegel, I believe Rockville. They're all 3 and 4 in overall. Stewart's Creek's on one that hadn't played Oakland yet. All the rest of them had played Oakland. Stewart's Creek lost to Riverdale a couple weeks ago, so I
Yeah.
think they're out of the playoff. 1-4 in the region.
So there's 6 teams in there, right?
8.
There's 8 teams and only 4
8.
make it.
8. Yeah.
Wow.
They're all Rutherford. They're Riverdale, Blackman, Oakland, Siegel, Laverne, Stewart's Creek.
So is that one of the best 6A divisions in the state?
I mean, for competitive, yes, get competitive. Yeah, I thought Siegel, after they beat Stewart's Creek that Saturday, I thought they would be good. But they've lost 3 in a row. They're 3-4 right now.
Yeah. Well,
They're still. I tell you what, that 4th spot. I mean, right now you're looking at Oakland is 1, Blackman is probably 2 or 3, Riverdale or 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And the 4th spot, it's going to be between them 4 teams, or it's either going to be Smyrna, Rockvale, and Siegel, and Stewart's Creek on the outside looking in. But those 3 are going to battle for that 4th spot. And I couldn't tell you right now who's going to get it. I mean, it's going to be that much of a. Smyrna plays Blackman this week. Stewart's Creek plays a non-region game.
Okay.
Siegel plays at Riverdale this week. So if
Where's
Siegel,
Rockville play?
Rockville plays a non-region, they play Tullahoma at home. Play Tullahoma.
Okay.
Stewart's Creek plays Knoxville Webb at home. So but the only 3 region games, Smyrna plays at Blackman, Oakland plays at Laverne, and Siegel plays at Riverdale.
Yeah, I think it's gonna. What do you think, Keith? How's that division? Well, what I was wondering is this: are they 6A? I mean, they're 6A, but what region are they in?
Region 3.
3. Is Region 3 considered one of the top divisions in 6A in the state?
I mean, I would think it would be Region 4 is who they'd go against in the playoffs. Now, I don't know too much about this quadrant stuff, but I do know why they did it is because, like the region down here, just about every year when the 3rd round came,
they knocked each other out.
It'd be 2, Blackman, Oakland, or Riverdale, Black somebody. So they'd make the semifinal. And Oakland and Maryville's played 6 of the last 7, 8 years in the semifinal. The only year they didn't is when Maryville got upset in the 2nd round and Bradley Central. They had to go to Bradley Central. That's when Bradley Central had Boo Carter, plays in Tennessee now.
Yeah.
Western Tennessee, and of course Oakland beat them, went on to the state championship game. But now they, that's one of the reasons why they've done is to keep the regions away from each other. And like I said, you have some travel, but that's part of the deal when you when you go to these playoff games. And like I say, I don't know if you know this, Coach Lamar, or not, but when the playoff deals they have, the gates that they make on the playoffs, 20% of it is off the top is TSSAA's money because of catastrophic insurance. They've got to pay that premium of that. And the rest of it, they'll split between the schools and all the other stuff. Because a kid at Siegel several years ago got hurt on a road game, and he ended up in a wheelchair for a long, long time. Ended up passed away. That's one of the tragic stories of it. But they've got to pay that premium. I believe it's expensive, a lot of money. Because like guys on a documentary one time about college football, he said football is like heroin. And once you get addicted to it, and once you get the highs and lows, the highs are the highs and whatever. But you can bankrupt yourself money playing football because all the injuries and all that other stuff. But that's just the way that is.
Well, these next couple of weeks are going to be interesting. I obviously ain't got no pros picks, but I think we're going to have to figure something out for the playoffs. So we're going to have to put that hot fudge Sunday. We're gonna have to figure some other way to kind of make that one work.
What about Clay County MTCS? They pounded them, didn't they?
Yeah, that is another thing. Of course, we played Clay County 2 weeks ago, I guess it was, and we got beat. Here we go with Adams kids because they kept playing every time they scored a touchdown. The Adams family, they've got 2 Adams kids, they're brothers, and I think one of them's a senior, one of them's a junior. They took over that game, and they've taken over every game. I mean, that's how Middle Tennessee Christian got beat. It was the Adams quarterback and a running back. That's all they've got.
Well,
and they took them to school. I mean, it was crazy. And I'm thinking, are they that good? And, are they that good after we got beat? I'm thinking, how in the world did we not stop these two? And then next week, they go up to Middle Tennessee Christian in Murfreesboro, and they beat them by 10. And Middle
Yeah,
Tennessee
but
Christian
you
School is
have to
not a
drive,
bad team,
drive.
yeah,
But they're young. They're young this year.
they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they got the players.
Yeah, they got to go. They go to Tipton Rosemark this week. They get frequent driver miles. They go to West Tennessee this week. Play Tipton Rosemark, the private school over there. So
Interesting. All right. So what are you looking forward to down the stretch? We got 2 games left, right? You guys, Keith, you guys are closing out with Warren. Who's your last game of the season against?
last
three
game's
left.
going to be against Trousdale County.
There's
Travis.
3 left.
Oh wait, you got 2
No.
games. You got 3
No.
3
left.
left.
Right, but hang on.
Yeah.
There are only 2 games left for us because we did not take a bye week. Our bye week is going to be on the week of fall break.
Okay.
So we do not play a game on the 24th of. We play a game on the 17th, and then we come back and we play a game on Thursday night, the 30th,
Yeah.
because that was supposed to be our Thursday night game by the TSSAA.
Okay.
So we play Thursday night against Trousdale County, and that'll be the end of the regular season for us.
Yeah.
And Trousdale's a region game. We should win that game.
Yeah.
Of course, you never overlook anybody. If we don't win that game, Gordonsville and Smith County, there's your rivalry right there. Throw all the records out. Gordonsville and Smith County will be playing on, I believe, that Friday night. So that's going to be an opportunity for us, our coaches, to go see them play.
Where's that at? How far?
Well, let me see if I can find that out for you real quick.
That could be. I mean, we're looking at we're probably going to do the MTCS PCA game.
Oh, that'll be a good
Halloween.
one. That'll be a good one.
Hey, here's one you can do Thursday night, Lombardi.
What's that?
October 30th, the battle of the borough, Oakland Riverdale.
Everybody
Ooh.
does that though, man.
I know. I'm just
Everybody
saying.
does
I know. I'm just.
No, I would.
They're playing Thursday instead of Friday playing the
No,
Thursday.
I mean, of course it's going to be. And I love Coach Kreisky, man. I mean, he's been a great guy to kind of, with whatever it is that we're trying to do, but everybody goes to that, and it's like,
Oh, I know. Yeah, that's true.
And so I
Is
like to
Smith-
try to find, the one, like the Cannon counties. Don't take it wrong. I'm really looking forward to it because I think you guys, like we went to Forest again, right? Because we did Cascade a few weeks ago and we did Forest the week before, and we thought it'd be kind of cool to do, watch them both play against each other since we saw them play against other opponents. And I like doing stuff like that because those schools don't necessarily get the kind of attention that they do deserve, because I tell you what, they got some players. I mean, that running back for Forest, Quincy Mitchell, woo, he ran for 3 bills, like 340 yards. Yeah, I can't hear you. Keith. You're the radio man.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
He ran for he's a sophomore. Played when he played 8th grade. His team won middle school as far as the Duck River Valley Championship, and we couldn't stop him. Nobody could stop him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is just transferred. He had just stepped up, and it's just a step up for him.
Yeah.
And he was hurt at the beginning of the season. They were doing a little prank type of play, and he got hurt and had to sit out the first game. But he came back. He came back the second game, and it just never skipped a beat.
Yeah, no, he's like 30 yards short of 2,000. And so, I interviewed, he's a really nice kid, really nice family. And he's now starting to get a lot of attention, right? And so the family kind of, they were like, hey, can you be a little bit soft with him, interviewing him? And I was like, we're just going to talk football. Don't worry about it. Because he's starting to get a lot more requests, and he's getting contact, which is great. I mean, like I said, these smaller schools need to get more attention because there's so much football out here in Middle Tennessee. It's ridiculous. So,
Hey, you did know Westwood beat Forest for the Duck River this year, right?
Yeah, second year in a row that they have won. And I know
Westwood won 14-12.
Yep. They had to come back from behind to do it again, but
Yeah.
they did win second year in a row for middle school Duck River Valley Conference Championship. Here's you a couple of games to watch on week number 10, I guess, or week number 11, as it's officially called.
Okay.
That Smith County game, by the way, not really, it doesn't really matter where they're going to be playing at because it's Smith County. Gordonsville's part of Smith County. So it's Smith County is going to play at Gordonsville on Friday. Another one is the Battle of Bedford County, and that's a big one too. Even though two teams, it's going to probably be lopsided, I would imagine this year. Community's got they've not enjoyed a very good football season, but Cascade will be at home taking on Community, and that's the Battle of Bedford County. And when they get, it doesn't matter what sport they get into, whether it be girls soccer, that's a rivalry. Basketball, it's a rivalry with those two. Although, like I say, I really think that Cascade will probably run away with that. Another game that I'm gonna kind of put my glasses on to watch Thursday night. Joe Burns, who's had a really good year, and they have really good football teams, and they've had a tradition of it. They're at Clay County, so they've got to drive from Adams, Tennessee, all the way to wherever Clay County is. I can't remember the name of the town. Salina. Yeah, that's right. I should know that. So those are three games, but I mean, you're going to see a lot of we talk about rivalries throughout the year.
Yeah.
They wait for the rivalries till the end of the season too.
Yeah.
You're going to see a lot of rivalries going on.
Yeah.
On week number 11.
Yeah,
So.
that's a really, I mean, like we just so happened to, there's not a lot of games on Halloween. And so, it was like, yeah, let's do MTCS and then, PCA since, I guess that's turning into a rivalry. I mean, PCA is still relatively young when it comes to the varsity football. But yeah, Jeff, I'll definitely be looking to try to find the Thursday game. I mean, I'm not opposed to it.
Oh, I understand. Everybody does it. I know what you mean. I understand that. I mean,
that Gordonsville game, by the way, is on Thursday night.
How far is Gordonsville, man?
Gordonsville about 40 minutes from.
Oh, that's not bad. You have a contact over there?
Let me think. I don't necessarily have a
Murphy
contact.
Fair.
Well, yeah, Murphy, but Terry Collins and Shay Hale. Shay Hale works for the Carthage Courier. That's who I went through to get my rosters for the Gordonsville game. And of course, I've got Terry Collins. I've got his number. He's the one that takes care of Smith County for the paper. So yeah, I've got.
So Smith County's at Gordonsville.
Yes,
and they're both. I haven't even checked their schedule, but okay, I'll look at it and see. So, like I said, I'm all about those off the beaten path type of games. So,
yeah.
But, all right. Well, hey, so Charles is cupcaking with his wife on vacation. So
he's down in Florida. He's down in Florida. All the volleyball coach Reinhardt's down there. Flowers was down there. She had to come back Thursday because of practice. Now Rockbell's coach, she went on a cruise with her husband to Bahamas. That's what she did during fall break. Must be nice to have all that money. Must be nice to have all that cash.
Yeah.
I mean, some of us have to work for a living, unlike Charles Brilliam and Cecil Joyce get week vacation. They get weeks off to do what they want to.
Yeah.
They work for big corporations. They get big money. See?
Yeah. Well, we're on a Sunday evening grinding away trying to get $1.
That's how we're trying to get $1 and make it holler. You know what I'm saying?
So let's talk a little bit about this Turkey Bowl that you're
Let's
involved
talk a little
with.
bit about that. Let's talk a little bit
There
about
we go. Yeah.
November. What's the date?
Is that backwards? Is that forward?
No, I can see it. It's
November. What's the date?
It is November the 8th. So check this out. All right. So when my son and I actually started doing this football thing, and he came up with the idea for the YouTube channel. And by the way, man, it's actually I guess it's a blessing with what it is, because I mean, there's a lot of people that are doing that, but we really get a lot of feedback from the coaches because it's really just about them. It's the program. It's not about us. Like, I don't get in front and say, hey, it's just the game. If you love the game, that's what I'm about. So anyways, I don't know how to shoot a camera. So last year I was like, we need to practice. And so I just started going to the middle school games. And it's like, let me just shoot them and just practice. First game I went to, Blackman and Stewart's Creek. And I'm like, man, that you can see. Remember, I coached like 20 some odd years out in California and maybe had like a 3-star athlete, maybe 7 or 8 of them in my years. But in the 8th grade level, 7th grade to middle schools, I looked at these kids. I'm like, oh my gosh, you could just see not only just the physical size. My wife jokes, says, yeah, it's the food out here, right? so, and so, um, but the way they carry themselves, and I never really understood what would people say football in the South until I kind of got here because it really is embedded in the culture, right? And so, and I started watching these kids, and then come to find out that there's really no all-star game, right, for the middle schoolers for Rutherford County. And then I'd been working on it for a year, and I'm like, we've got to do something because there's way too much talent, right? Because you think the kids that are, Jalen Morgan and Boone and all these kids, well, they were 8th graders, right? They all started at some point moving on. So got some coaches. It's going to be at MTCS on November the 8th, right? We got all things arranged. We got it locked in. We actually just landed a great sponsor. Taylor Farms is actually going to be sponsoring the game, man. I think
Excellent.
it's one of those things where I really truly believe that it's taking a thing on its own, and this could be a real part of the whole football culture because these kids, we had tryouts these past 2 weekends. I wish I could show you these pictures. There's not a lineman that's below 6 foot, right? And they come from Rocky Fort, Rock Springs, Laverne. We got a couple of kids from Tullahoma that wanted to come and try out. We've got a real nice mix of legitimate big time players. And I'm not, it's not hyperbole when I say that there'll be a 15 to 20 of them that in 4 years they'll be signing. You could just see that. And my whole goal with this, in all honesty, and that's the reason why I would love for Cannon to send a couple players because the more the better. We're going to cap the rosters because I'm not one of those that where we want to just flood the rosters and have parents pay way too much money. I think that's ridiculous. And kids don't really play. Let's cap it. And so, but there is a couple spots, but just the competitiveness will be so good that I want the kids to really embrace it and embrace the challenge. And the sooner that they can realize that, yeah, in 4 years I can sign, that they have God-given ability, the better it is. I mean, you guys have been covering this long enough. I mean, you could probably think of 24 guys right off your head that they had potential, but high school got to them and they got sidetracked, right? Chasing skirts, getting into the partying, and they just didn't take it serious. Where it's like my whole goal with all of this, besides just wanting to watch this incredible football game with these incredible future talents, is to maybe drop some seeds and say, hey, you guys have some real potential. And I'd love to get you guys, I'd love to get people to come and just talk to the kids, get them to realize that what they're about to start in is something that's very special. So the sooner we can get those guys focused.
So who is
very long 12-minute answer. Sorry about that, man.
Who's gonna coach? Who's gonna coach them?
So it's all volunteers. Coach Campbell from MTCS Middle School is going in. He's got a couple of his coaches. Coach Chris Jen from John Paul II, wanting to coach. So we've got a wide variety. So it's not just all-star players. We got all-star coach. It's just cool. And the parents, I gotta be honest with you, man. The parents were just so appreciative, and the players were. And to me, it's like that's what I love. Is like you love football, but if you really, really love football, you want to compete. You want to see where you stand. And if you're a football fan, you love nothing more than to, I would tell the players, you don't want to win 40-0. Yeah, it's a win. But you would rather get in a game where you're getting smashed back and forth and you're being challenged. And as a player, you love it. As a parent, you love it. And as a fan, as a radio guy, I mean, you would love nothing more than to call a game that's going back and forth. Of course, you want your boys to win. But if they were on the short side and it was a great game, okay. I mean, do you understand what I'm meaning? That's that's the goal.
Let me ask a couple of questions. Do you have anybody on November the 8th that will go out and film this, do a broadcast, a live broadcast.
Well, I'm talking to the guy who I was hoping to.
Okay. Well, we'll talk. Second thing is, as far as coaches are concerned, you've seen, did you watch our game last week, this past Friday?
No, I didn't get a chance
You,
to.
did you listen to it somewhere? Because you had
No.
asked me a question about Cannon County. You must have seen a score or something.
I saw the score. I saw you guys have
Okay,
a little bit of
because we were having problems in Jackson County and Gainesboro. They don't know the meaning of internet at all, and they're an NFHS school. And I'm not going to slam them too bad, although I will say this: I was leaving the school at the end of the game, and I noticed their concession stand. They were wrapping stuff up, and they had put all the popcorn, and I'm a popcorn fanatic, so I go over and I offer to buy 6 bags of popcorn. That's all I see for the ride home. I've got a long ride home. Gainesboro is about 2 hours from Murfreesboro. Okay. So I offer to buy. The woman looks at me and gives me 1 bag. Not to buy it. She gave it to me. And I looked at her and I said, how about a second bag? And she gave me a second bag. And I said, hey, I will buy the rest of these bags. And you know what she said to me? I'm not selling them. So I turned around and I walked off, didn't say a word. I won't say who it was because the community of Gainesboro and Jackson County, they all know who this lady is. I didn't know who she was until Murphy Fair introduced me. Well, he didn't really introduce me to her. He called to her attention. And I'm thinking, here I am, a paying customer. I was going to buy all 6 bags, not just, don't give me free ones. I'll pay you for them. I love popcorn out of a popcorn machine like that, right? And so that kind of, burst my bubble there.
Wow.
But you saw, well, you've kept up with the stats, Miles Alexander. You've seen Andrew Alexander. You've seen, or you've heard about, Cale Sellers and some of these sophomores. And it's kind of alluding back to what you were talking about earlier. These kids came from a very fundamentally sound middle school football program. If this coach of the middle school program at the time did not put them in a weight conditioning program like he did, those kids wouldn't be as good as they are now. This coach, he is not coaching this year. And I'll get with you and tell you who it is off camera.
Yeah.
But he would probably be available and probably would be interested in helping. Now he did interview, I think, at one time. They were trying to figure out what the coaches were going to be. So he interviewed for a position at Middle Tennessee Christian, but he decided not to take it because, see, he wanted his kids to go to another football program because his kids are real small and they get killed. They would get killed, So he wanted his kids to go. So he was willing to, but he's been involved in youth program. I think he's going to go back to youth football and start building. And that's where it all started. It started when he was a youth football coach, and then he just went through. The coach that I gave you the number for today, he is the middle school football coach, but he teaches down at Oakland Middle School. And he was involved for many years in the Murfreesboro Youth Football League. Okay. So he's got a lot of background in that. So, but we could talk about this thing on the 8th. That's the reason why I was checking the calendar to see if I was free that day. And it looks like I'm going to be free. I don't have anything going on. I was trying to check to make sure car shows or whatever. So
you can run the scoreboard too, right?
Well, I'd rather not do both.
Multitasking, man. No,
well, what you need to do is kind of like high school, and what they do in the Duck River Valley Conference in the youth football is they supply a referee to and now in middle school, we have to supply a scoreboard operator. We always had to, but you could probably, because of the quality of a game that you're looking at, you could probably get the officials to run the score clock on the field.
Yeah. Well,
And I can punch the buttons, but
yeah.
I'm sure Middle Tennessee Christian School would supply a scoreboard.
Well, Coach Peterson and Coach Piercy, the AD, they've been above and beyond, right?
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah,
It's just
they're
been a
cool. I
great
like them. They're
relationship.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean it's not I think that it's great when people can kind of see it. And the hardest thing is it since it's never been done, how can you gotta almost paint the picture. And I was not halfway joking with my wife, but it's like, man, I'm gonna cry like a baby if we kick that ball off, man. I'm gonna be honest, just it's gonna be incredible to see it when you can see something come to happen that it's never been done, right?
Right.
And I really hope that the kids enjoy it, and the parents enjoy it, and you calling it, man. And maybe,
Well, here's the thing.
yeah,
This is another thing I'm going to invite you to. If you
Yes, sir.
come to the Cannon County Warren County game on Friday,
Yep.
I want you up in the press box at halftime. And
All
you
right.
and I will do a halftime interview because I've got a color commentator. Now, I could probably take the color commentator and say, hey, you got the night off, and he wouldn't care because he's the athletic director of the school.
All
But
right.
we're going to do a broadcast on what's the name of it? Huddle TV, HUDL.
Done. Yeah.
That's what we do on home games.
Yeah.
And I want to interview you on Huddle TV at halftime of the football game.
Hey, I'm all down. I think it's great. What we would love to do, is there a way that like we can use your broadcast? Because and obviously give credit and all that stuff, but like there's some cool touchdown calls and like your pregame. We would love to be able to figure out how to do like especially the home team's pregame because you got all the analysis. And like as the players are warming up and how we do our whole intro, we've been trying to figure out how to do that. Can we keep your recording? I don't even know how to use that.
What happens is at the end of every game, they want us to erase the recording because, for instance, in ours is such a complex offense. It goes by signals.
Oh, I got you.
And what was happening is that coaches from other teams, other than the game film that they would send them,
Yeah.
they would be stealing signals and they would know exactly what plays were run. Now imagine this, a complex passing offense with all these different plays that you've got, and there's hundreds of them that you've got. If a coach gets this, then you've got to change signals or something. Can you imagine how confusing that would be for kids? You were in a coaching position.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how confusing this would be for your athletes to learn new signals?
Oh,
And you have to carry this over every year. This is kind of like school. You graduate from being a freshman to a sophomore, you still got classes. They're still going to teach you the same thing. Well, that's the way it is here. They're going to teach you the same thing and to the new set freshman. So, and I see his point of view because there's a lot of schools that don't. They continue to provide, but they're not as complex of an offense. It might be a running back, running offense or whatever.
Yeah.
So I can see his point of view, and I honor that. We honor it for Huddle. We honor it for my broadcast on Cannon Courier News and Events. And I've got to get you plugged into the Cannon Courier News and Events Facebook page because that's where all my interviews go. Okay. And you can watch them and you can see how many people view our interviews. We get about 4,000, 5,000 people that will view our interviews. And what I do on Mondays is I go down and I tape a coach's conversation with Tommy Hintz, the head coach.
Okay.
And I air it on Wednesdays. Air it on Wednesdays because I've got a little routine going. And what I do also is, and this is something that we'll talk about for your athletes that are playing on the 8th, is before the season began, I did a feature called 10 Questions with. And what I did was I set the Cannon County sophomores, juniors, and seniors down one by one, and I sped through this, and we asked them 10 questions. What do you like to do for, what kind of food do you like to eat before a game? What song would you like to have hear played before a game and stuff like that? Who's your favorite college football team? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we did that, and it's a popular feature. And I released two, because the football season is only 10 weeks. I released 2 a week. So on Tuesday we do one athlete, and then we do this coach's show it's a 10-15 minute interview on Wednesday, and then on Thursday we'll do that second one, or Friday.
Okay.
game day, and I'll promote the game. Hey, watch us wherever, so people can figure out where we're at, because sometimes it gets confusing as to what platform I'm using.
Well,
But
I reached out to that coach, right? He obviously don't know me from Adam, but man, that would even be better if I can just get a couple of the kids, as long as they can hang, right? Protect
yeah,
themselves and they can hang. I mean, they don't have to be like the elite, but if they can compete, right? That would make it even more, man. Bring them over, tell them to, they could be part of the game and whatnot, and then you can add that part to your whole Canon thing, man. I think it'd be awesome. Feature those.
when are you wanting to interview these guys for this week? Do you want to interview them this week?
Interview who?
The Cannon County football. Are you talking about the football players from Cannon County, or are you talking about this thing that you're doing?
I'm
November
talking
8th?
about for the Turkey Bowl. If there's
Oh,
a way
okay, yeah.
to get the couple players, then you can add that. Like you were talking about, you'll do something for the build up for the Turkey Bowl.
Oh, yeah, that shouldn't be any problem. I
Bring
just
some
need to
Cannon
reach
County.
out.
Let the coach know, hey, got this cool event. Give them a couple players, especially if they're linemen, right? So,
Well, we're looking for talent. And I'm not saying that we don't have any linemen with talent. We've got some big linemen. We got this kid. He's probably about 300 pounds. I'd say he's about 6'2" or something. When I went and talked to this kid, I thought, okay, this kid's an eighth grader. And all of a sudden he looked at me and he goes, no, I just graduated from sixth grade. Whoa,
yeah,
they grow them pretty big up here. They're developing.
food, man.
The two players that I would consider for this type of all-star game. One of them's by the name of Keaton Schulteis. Let's see how his health is. And the second one, and I'll talk to his dad tonight, is a kid by the name of Jonah Strait. Jonah was the quarterback. Last year he was a defensive and offensive lineman. Short kid,
Yeah.
stout, but they had to move him to quarterback because they didn't have a whole lot of talent at that point in time. Their talent didn't really come in until the first week of school. So they didn't have the off season that they normally try to have and stuff like that. And that really hurts you when you're basically a 2-year program, because that's what middle school is.
Yeah.
A 2-year program. And the youth football program for Cannon County, they did not have a 5th and 6th grade team last year. They only played up to 4th grades, and they didn't have the talent that they needed for that. All the kids that wanted to play ended up having to go to Murfreesboro or to McMinnville to play football in that age group.
Yeah.
So,
well, reach out to the coaches. If you recommend them, that's fine by me, brother. I trust your judgment on that. And they can do it, and talk to that coach. Say, hey, you want to be a part of it? He can jump on staff.
Yeah.
My only rule with coaches, as long as they're good guys, man, it's all about the kids.
Yeah.
Everything else is great. So, but hey, I appreciate that, man. We'll have to talk more about that other stuff. So, Jeff, you gonna write a big article in the Murfreesboro Post, man?
And I don't know, man. I've talked to my editor. See if I can get you some. See if I can get some. Yeah, I will put it on my scoreboard. I do a Rutherford County Prep School.
There you go, man.
I'll send it to my editor and schedule. I'll tell him what day it is, and he'll try to put it on we do a prep school board every week.
Yeah.
Right now I'm doing soccer and football, whatever. But I'll try to put it on there, see if I can put it on there and get the date. When's kickoff? When's kickoff?
3:00.
3:00.
3:00. I'll send you guys. I'll email you all the information.
I'll get it on there, and
yeah,
I'll try to put it on a prep school board.
I'll tell you what, man. It's 7th graders too, because I told them, because there's some incredibly talented 7th graders, and yeah, we got there's 4 quarterbacks, so you're like, that's not bad. That's not bad. So, they're spread around. Like I say, it's cool that it's not just from one. It's, and what's actually really cool is it's not like Oakland versus Blackman and Rock. It's like, no, we're doing a full on like fantasy football draft. Doesn't matter if there's,
don't matter.
They're like 5 Rockville guys. Like, hey, we want him on this team. We want him on this team. So,
that's true.
Just blend it in and make it. So, all right, guys. Hey, we'll get 7-on-7 next week, and I'll email you guys the picks sometime this week.
No
so we'll get it back in and figure it out, because we got the playoffs coming in, and I'm glad we got back together. Feels good to see you again, Jeff. Real Deal Neal.
All right, man. Get Charles back in Florida now. Get him
Yeah.
back in
As
sunshine.
soon as he's done cupcaking, man, he'll be back.
Get him
So,
back in sunshine.
so,
They busy to you. Hey, Stone Morrow's got to go to Baxter Tuesday night. Got any plans? But I know they can get there though. Play Central Mag in the region semifinals.
yep. Well, all right.
Volleyball. So
All right. Well, for Keith, I'm always ready on the radio. I want to thank you for joining us, brother, from the Cannon Courier. Jeff Real Deal. Follow him in the Murfreesboro Post. And I'm Coach Lombardi. Thanks for watching Mid 10 Friday Night Football, the Reporter Show. We'll see you next week.
see you.